Hi everyone, and welcome back to Spain. At the moment, I'll be coming to you from Madrid, but we will eventually make it to Toledo. This will be my last slideshow video, so don't always think it'll be this way. We were just tired. This is immediately after the Lisbon, Portugal trip, so I was just in the mood to take pictures, and this is what I got. So, without further ado, always blessed to have a window seat when we have it. This is just Teresa rushing off the plane. I just thought it was funny. We were rushing to catch our next train, which would be more into the heart of Madrid. This is as we're making our way to the train station. There's a beautiful skyline. The one on the far left reminds me of the Comcast Center in Philadelphia. Me showing off the cool elevator at our hotel. We also got some dinner at Tapa Tapa, combination of tapas. We also got to stop at Puerta del Sol, Gate of the Sun, and it's one of the most famous squares in Madrid. Now again, we only spent like an hour or so exploring this section as we had an early bus ride in the morning, but I was happy to stand at kilometer 0, which is like the most center point of Spain where all their roads lead to, if I remember correctly. And again, there's me standing on it because I thought that was necessary to show you guys. I also read that this is a big spot for New Year's Eve celebrations, so maybe sometime in my life I'll be there for it. Now this is a popular symbol for Madrid. This is the bear and the strawberry tree, and it symbolizes the folklore of the city. The last couple photos of the night, I just thought it was interesting on our way back to our hotel. Again, doesn't do Madrid justice, but I feel like we got like a little taste of it for the night, which is good. The next morning, we had a great breakfast provided by our hotel, and then we made a short walk down to the bus terminal. Some of the sculptures or things decorated on top of the buildings look cool, so I got a picture. Now, we did take a bus for this trip, and it took roughly an hour of time from Madrid to get to Toledo. Now, Toledo is an ancient city set on a hill above the plains of Castilla-La Mancha in central Spain. It's also the capital of the region. It's known for the medieval Arab, Jewish, and Christian monuments, while also being the home to Mannerist painter El Greco. It is also a filming location for one of my favorite films, The Ninth Gate. Just wanted to mention that. And also, there's like a light history with my family because my grandmother and grandfather visited here, I believe it was in the 1970s. But we still have a letter opener in the shape of a sword that has Toledo on it. And I came here to buy mine as well. Now obviously, there's way more to Toledo than what I just mentioned, so I'll leave a link in the description detailing the city's history, so please check it out. We had roughly 6 hours in the city. So to begin, we crossed over the San Martin's Bridge, and once on the other side, I decided to take a picture of the opposite direction. This was probably around 10:30 in the morning, so it wasn't too busy yet. It is one of Spain's top tourist destinations, so I feel like we're pretty privileged as it wasn't too crazy. Now we had some key points to stop at. Other places was relatively brief. Like the first thing we were going to see was the Synagogue of Santa Maria la Blanca. And unfortunately, I only got one picture on the inside because my battery was low. So I was trying to charge my phone and I really wasn't planning that part out, or I didn't think too soon to do that. So this is me inside of it. Another photo inside of it was the ceiling. Beautiful. This is all in the Jewish quarter also, I should say. This was a cat I came across. I nicknamed it Bumblebee because of the tip of its tail. Just wanted to point that out. Most of the time I was taking photos, showing off the cobblestone streets in the tight alleyways and combination of architectural styles. Now this is inside the Catholic Church of Santo Tomé, and this is the burial of Count Orgaz by Greek artist El Greco. Now this is the grave of Count Orgaz, who was Gonzalo Ruiz de Toledo, a Spanish nobleman and statesman who lived during the 14th century. After that, we went souvenir shopping and found a place for lunch. I, as always, had salmon, and she had like a deep fried steak. Yeah. After a few minute break, we made our way to Primatial Cathedral of St. Mary of Toledo, or just Toledo Cathedral for short. I mentioned earlier, but it was built from the year 1227 to 1493. It's built in the medieval Gothic architectural style, and it's made from limestone, quarried not too far from Toledo. It is also listed as one of the top 10 cathedrals to visit in Spain. I'll put a link in the description with more information about the Cathedral Toledo. I just want you to know that most of the time, I just try to show you a glimpse of some of the stuff in there because it's worth going on your own. And there's so much more to see than I can ever fit into one video. The tour we had there, I want to say it was around like an hour and a half, and that was at like a decent pace. Like you could probably spend the whole day even there just checking out some of the artifacts inside. One of my favorite facts about it is that there's over 276,000 different works of art by around 31,000 artists, and that's pretty impressive. And that is art dating from the Renaissance up until today, 2024. And that about sums up what we saw at the cathedral. And also, just about sums up the rest of our trip there. We had a few minutes left, so, walked around, took a couple more photos, hung out at Plaza de Zocadover, if I think I said that correctly. And yeah, then made our way downhill, back to our bus, and got a couple photos along the way, some remnants of a time long ago. And before we knew it, we're back in Madrid, and back at Tapa Tapa. Shortly after eating, we had to make our way back to the train station to go back to Valladolid. And it's about like an hour ride, but at this point, it was a long day and I was pretty exhausted. Now the rest of this video makes up the last of my trip, which was in Valladolid. Now every day we managed to do a little bit of something. Like for these few photos, I saw a lot of Spain's participation in the tractor movement of Europe. There'll be a link in the description detailing more of what the protest is actually about, so that'll give you more information I can provide at the moment. This is while the 38th Goya Awards was going on in Valladolid, so that's next to a bust of Francisco Goya. That's a pig, also located above one of the restaurants in that square. Eventually, we went out with some of her friends. They introduced me to some dishes unique to Valladolid. One of these being, I know it's not politically correct, but it was called Obama in the White House. And it was potatoes, pitch black, after being soaked in squid ink, then fried with mushroom sauce and egg. Now here's more of a plaza square at night. And again, these photos is from February 4th through February 16th. I usually put that in the description. And again, I'm very sorry for how I've been with uploading. I know it's been terrible. It's been like 1 month of video. And these are from trips from February. So I swear I'm going to step it up. And I promise to eventually make a video of Valladolid and actually do it justice aside from the few photos I've shown. And now this is on to my last day before I return to the United States. After Teresa was done with work, I met her on the other side of town. I was just appreciating the railroad tracks, growing up near railroad tracks myself. Not this large, cool nonetheless. Anyway, eventually met up with Teresa. We had a nice breakfast, as I'm showing here. Again, making my mouth water just looking at it. Take me back. Again, sorry. Anyway, on our way back to the apartment, I was admiring some of the old abandoned factories and industrial buildings they had around. It reminded me of my hometown of Bridgeport, and next to it Norristown, which used to have a lot of industrial buildings that some are still standing, some aren't. But it gave me like a weird nostalgic feeling seeing these. And I just felt compelled to take photos and add them into this video. And I appreciate Teresa not minding us just stopping there as I just stood and looked around like a total weirdo. No shame. And the saddest part, Teresa and I saying goodbye for now, at that moment. Her looking onto my train, and her photo of me right before I get on it. Like I said before, always blessed to have a window seat. This is probably somewhere over Canada, right whenever I came back into North America. Finished this slideshow with, holy shit, it's a video. This is right outside of Valladolid. I took this earlier in February, and it's Castle of Simancas, and it was built in the late 15th century, early 16th century. The earliest foundation and walls and stuff though were built in, I believe, in the late 1400s, but I had nowhere to put it in any of my videos, so this is what I got of it. Again, thanks for watching. The next video will be a video. Till next time, my friends.
Que trabaja en Valladolid.